Hello, everybody. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been around, welcome back. Super excited to kind of share with you guys a little bit about what I've had going on, what I plan to have going forward involving this, and just kind of where I'm at, and then get the video started. So I know it's been a while since I've uploaded. My last skit with a wig and a mustache was just under 2 years ago now, which is crazy. I feel like that time, I feel like I was just in here, with, you know, looking around. Oh, what? You don't die? Like that kind of thing. It feels like it was just yesterday, but in like chronological time, it's been a while. um, a lot has changed since then. I haven't been uploading much. I've been, desperately trying not to get into the saturated vlog part of YouTube, especially but I'll go into all of that in another video. I think my first video for yeah, this is what I was kind of pitching to myself. I was like, how do I make a happy medium where I can upload videos to my channel because I love making videos, but I wasn't, or like I don't catch enough fish to be able to like consistently upload edits. They take so much fish to make, like maybe like say 20 fish. It's like, bro, that's gonna be like over 20 dives for me in order for me to catch 20 fish to make an edit. So then the other alternative was like, oh, make a vlog, like you can just go diving once and then that whole dive can just be its own video, and you can do that once a month or once every couple months. And it's like, shoot, well, there's so much people that do it and that do it extremely good. So I'm like, and like, not only that, like, I don't like this. I don't like this, or like, I don't not like it. No, I'm not comfortable.
3 hours later.
Growing up, it was all edits. It was all like videos of drops or like cut up music over like some electronic music or some reggae or some Hawaiian music or something. That was kind of like where the diving was at, or like Tree Prong Hawaii, with their like iconic kind of theme music going on while Hanale Adric is plugging anything and everything with his Tree Prong with the Kumu R1, or maybe 808 Dive Bomber, just pounding all kinds of fish, Honolulu's, kumus, any kind, swimming with huge tiger sharks. That's like the kind of stuff that I grew up on watching. And that's the kind of stuff that I've always wanted to make, but sticking to like my own way, with like the skits and stuff. I thought it would be kind of goofy, kind of funny, kind of fun to make. So that's kind of what sprawled that. But yeah, then the YouTube community kind of started shifting towards like video logs about diving and instructional videos, like with Ryan Myers guys, or like Jason Hoyhama's Wake Up and Live YouTube, like all these awesome divers that are doing it, making vlogs, kind of walking the viewers through. I've watched like a ton of those videos, but I never felt like, I'm not like not a pro like those guys. I'm not sponsored. I'm not nothing. I'm just somebody who likes to dive here and there. So like, yeah. But for me, it's like, well, something that they can't do that I can do is talk about my own personal experiences or share the experiences of my friends, because they don't know us, they don't know me, they don't know my friends, but I know me and I know my friends. So going forward, I wanted to make longer style videos where I can just kind of talk about random different subjects, um still kind of figuring out the logistics of that and like what a video might actually look like. This is just kind of like a practice run. The only podcast that I've ever watched about diving is Derek Lavolt's one. Sorry, Derek, if I said your name wrong. If you see this, I'm sorry. Um, but I remember growing up and watching Deeper Perspectives.
The
That was
greatest
really, really
spearfishing
cool. And I
podcast.
learned a ton of stuff Definitely helped shape me into who I am as a diver today. And I wish that name wasn't taken. I would absolutely love to use that name. Okay, I'm feeling good. I think it's enough stalling. It's time to get to the action already, to get to the diving. But one more thing, just briefly, my friend Matt, me and him, we went dive the other day. Matt is a incredible diver, incredible Gyotaku artist, incredible cook. He's just one of those guys that's just so naturally good at everything that he does. We had just a short window, about 2.5 hours to dive because I had to get to clinicals and do some stuff. But yeah, he came down from town, and that's what this video is about. We just went out, swam, looked around, shot a couple fish, and then we headed in. But without further ado, here is the rest of the video. Okay, guys, so we in the early morning. Sun rises at like 6:50 today. About to go to the zones. We're currently waiting on my friend Matt to get here. This Maui boy is borrowing his roommate Kanoe's car, driving out from town. But yeah, I'm just gonna go check it out. It's winter time right now, a little bit in between swells, so the plan is to just swim out for maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours max. Just kind of see what we can see. I have some spots that I've been scoping out lately that I wanted to share with Brother Matt. Hopefully there's some action, but I don't know, we're not going to be able to dive that long, so we shall see. I always kind of like to mentally prepare myself for what I might expect to see out there. Today, based off of the swell history, I'm guessing it's going to be like 20 feet or less visibility. Probably cannot really see the bottom kind diving, just blind drops. Unfortunately, I have Kuleana to attend to at 11 o'clock, so I need to be home by like 10. So it's kind of unfortunate, or like even earlier, so I can like rinse off my stuff and like maybe take a shower or something. But yeah, this spot where we're going usually has like a pretty good moo pile. Sometimes some like goats and stuff. I know like a quarter mile down the beach there's a nice kumu house, some joes. I shot one wanakali out there before, which is pretty unusual for this part of the island. But yeah, mostly moos, uhus. I don't know, I have a Christmas party coming up in a couple weeks, so kind of whatever happens. I wouldn't mind a uhu. I haven't baked a uhu in a really long time. Let's go get geared up and see you guys on the water. Just wanted to take a moment here to mahalo you guys for sticking it out and making it this far. Congratulations, you made it to the diving. So put on your favorite playlist if you don't want to hear me talk. And if not, then I guess you can just listen. I'm not really gonna say too much meaningful stuff. There might be a couple gems here and there, little hidden gems, potentially. If you pay attention, there's a test on it later. But now I also wanted to invite you guys to the comment section. If you guys have any kinds of questions, comments, concerns, feedback, anything really, please feel free, let me know. I'll try to read all the comments. Usually there's not a ton, so it's not bad. I also wanted to congratulate myself for making it this far. Now I feel like I kind of made it to the hard part, which was the earlier portion of all the talking and editing and whatnot, and now it's just a bunch of clips slapped into a time frame or timeline, and I can just talk. The idea is to just use this as a way to think out loud and kind of work on my communication skills, and also not have to do a bunch of takes and stuff.
this is unscripted, bro. We going off the dome here. We're just talking. Unfortunately, we missed all of that first dive. That was Matt's and mine first drop of the day. As soon as we made it out to the spot, it's in an unknown amount of feet. Here I'm loading my spear gun. It's a KAP 120 for whoever was wondering. Matt's over there rocking a KAP 100 with a single 16mm band. With a shaft cone. He runs the shaft cone it's supposed to help with penetration so that the fish can kind of make that transition from the tip over the flopper more easily. When you're working with smaller equipment too, where you're kind of trying to maximize as much power and punch as you can in a small setup, it's those little tweaks that really make a huge difference, like using shorter and stronger bands and that little cone, maybe even having like a tri-cut shaft tip that'll help you penetrate more, or at least so I heard. But here, this is me taking my first drop after me and Matt, we breathed up, put the camera on the float, and I'm taking a drop. You guys can see there's plenty of invasives over here. Just pretty sad to see so much yellowfish. Top is taking over. I feel like over the years, I don't know if I've noticed more toa and tape, or if I'm just diving a little deeper now, so kind of in those places where they're more around than in the little bit shallower water. But usually if I find these kind of tape zones, it's pretty good goat and moo grounds actually. Sometimes ukus too, but I haven't seen an uku in months. Just these guys. Matt on his last drop told me that there was moose. I couldn't see him because I was too busy looking at him, but I know that in this area there's a pretty solid moo pile. So right here I'm just kind of investigating. I like to just take a drop and just cruise on the bottom, not really trying to shoot anything. Even if something was to show up, I'd probably just kind of check it out and get maw with the situation. But yeah, there's a nice family of joes. There's a couple good sized ones, maybe close to 2 pounds. You can kind of see the moose in the distance swimming away as I start coming up off the bottom. But now I know where they're at, so it's always a good idea to just be aware of what kinds of fish are in what directions, especially when you're doing these kinds of dives where you can't see the bottom. It's winter time, so my spots are always green. Like I mean, even in like when the water's, I just scared Matt right there. You seen that? I don't think he knew that was coming down. Oh, I remember this one. There's a nice little kumu right here. Thought this was cool. You're seeing a couple of those throughout the day. Never seen any big ones, but it's always good to see kumus. Where was I? Oh yeah, even when it's flat and calm, like this day was extremely flat and calm, and it's still super green, as you guys can see. Even in the summertime too, when it's flat all the time, it's still just green water. Kind of need to just feel around where you're going. Look for those kalas and palanis, stuff that kind of sits high up off the bottom. They'll lead you to the other fish. Hint, hint. If you never know, now maybe you know. But yeah, we're just cruising down here. I might be blowing it for his... Oh, no. He's not doing a mood drop. He has his little gun. I was gonna say, if I was down here, I don't know how if the moves would come in. But oh yeah, I grunted this guy in for him. Matt doesn't like to grunt very much, which is just his personal preference. Me, I just do whatever my heart desires when I'm on the bottom. Swim around, look at the sand, scratch rocks, just kind of make like a fish, and sometimes it works, most times it doesn't. But look at this finning technique too. Some things that I want you guys to pay attention to when you guys are watching videos, or if you guys are in the ocean swimming around, is just take note of what you guys see and where. what kinds of structures is holding what kinds of fish, and yeah, okay, just wanted to add that in. So here I'm taking another drop, and this dive in particular, I think I only took like a little more than a dozen dives, like actual for real kind dives on this dive. But right here, I see the moo pile on my way down. I know where they stay, and I'm gonna do something that I kind of picked up from just kind of seeing how moose act sometimes. Not really gonna explain what that is. If you guys just makala enough, then maybe you'll be able to kind of figure it out on your own. But something that I like to do is see what other people do, kind of use it to formulate my own assumptions or theories and stuff like that, and then try to apply it and just do it and see what works, see what doesn't. But the main thing is you're trying, yeah. And I guess that applies to more than diving. Oh, getting deeper perspectives, deep anyway. Yeah, the moose did end up coming in. Something that I want to figure out is how to kind of draw that line. It's such a thin line, like I feel like, between sharing and oversharing, especially online. I it seems like people just no shame, like just share the spots, like just blow them up. I don't know, like techniques they have from their uncles or stuff, it's just like some things of course are kind of give-ins. You guys know those things. They're the same repeated stuff. Oh, move slow, oh shoot, I can't even think of any others, but you know what I mean? Yeah, like trying to figure out how to draw that line, because how are we supposed to do some kind of podcast about diving and gear and tips and tricks and techniques and journeys and stuff like that without oversharing? That's gonna be something that I'm gonna have to explore and see. But if you guys have any thoughts, please let me know. How's that little spin move? That was kind of cool. This happened, ended up being a 2-minute and 45 drop. 2-minute and 45-second drop, if you guys believe that or not. This clip, of course, is not that long. It was dropped. But yeah, that was kind of cool. Working some moves. They're still off in the distance, but not coming in. You guys can see that sand pocket, yeah, in the back. A lot of the places where I like to go have sandy zones nearby. We're still working those moves. Every drop is just kind of taking note of their positioning and their behavior and what they like, what they don't like. They didn't like that hiding spot or that drop, but the previous drop, they liked what it did. So knowing that, carrying it on into my next drop, which is this one, I was able to apply some of the stuff that I noticed from the last couple dives, and turned out successful, which felt really rewarding. This ended up being my biggest moo that I've landed before. I don't have like a real scale, like the kind that you put the kui on and it like weighs the fish good, or that you like hook it in the gills or whatever, like the handheld kind scale. I don't have one of those, never did. I weigh my fish with I have like a little digital kitchen scale. I think it's meant to weigh amounts in like grams and stuff, like spices. But I don't know, I've been using it all my life. Well, not all my life, but like when I've weighed fish recently, I've been using it. So I don't know how accurate it is, but the moo ended up becoming 7.5 pounds, which is pretty cool. I think my biggest one before that was maybe 6.5. But here you can see how big that pile is. There's a bunch of little ones ahead of me, and I know the big chunk is, oh, there they stay. drifting in like ghosts. But notice how my face isn't eating sand here, and they still come in. How does that work? Pondering. Shooting line gets a little wrapped up on this rock, so I just unstuck him. I shot that fish right in the okole, so I'm kind of fearing right now. I'm like, oh my goodness, please don't rip off. It was fighting pretty solid, and yeah, definitely the biggest moo that I've caught. Oh, you thought I was gonna show the land, yeah? When I surfaced, nope. You guys is never gonna see the land. That's a game we can play. I want you guys to look for the I want you guys to look for the land. If anybody can find the land in my videos, I will give you guys a shout out. Nah, I don't know.
Yes,
If you guys can figure out exactly where I'm at, nah. Don't try. But if you guys do, keep it to yourself. But if you guys see the land and you guys can tell me at what second it is in the video, I'll give you guys a prize. This doesn't count. You seen that blurry stuff? That doesn't count. That was not the land. That was just blur. But yeah. Also, when I'm doing this voiceover, I can't hear what's going on in the clip. I think Matt was saying it was like an 8-pounder or something. He was close. I think he might have threw the T word out, 10, but yeah, no, not quite. Not quite. I can't even imagine how big. My friend Kalash shot one 13-pounder. He sent me a picture of the gyotaku. I think he made the gyotaku too, and that was insane. That thing is huge. He had a $100 bill as a reference, and it was like, it was really big, really big. Here's Matt breathing up. Look at how calm the water is, and look at how calm Matt is too. He's got his throw flasher, crack pipe. He makes some homemade with his own fancy kind tape. They work really well. They make ukus come out of nowhere. So if you guys want to get a Takakura crack pipe, reach out to Matt on Instagram at MattyTalks, and maybe you'll get your hands on one. But yeah, here's me following him down. I love this angle, and I love the way that Matt is able to just equalize without touching his face at all. I'm so jealous. My sister is also able to do that, actually, which makes no sense because she just, I don't know, she's more of a surfer, but she just can. She's gifted. Oh, here's an omilu coming in to check us out. Boink. Huh. Yeah, check out this zone. Check out that wetsuit. Derek was making those wetsuits, actually. Derek, that I mentioned earlier in the video. But they were high heat wetsuits, and there was an insane, crazy array of prints, and they were incredible. He actually got me, I got my first wetsuit that wasn't like Hamajang, was from him. It was a 2mm arms and legs with a 3mm chest and head area. And I was not, oh, nice omilu. We both seen that, and we're like, oh, okay, they're in the area. Cool. Maybe the next drop. But yeah, Derek gave me, or I got it from him for it was just so cheap, and it was just so awesome. And I was only a young kid too at the time, and like before like really working or having any sort of money. I mean, I don't have no money now, because I'm back to broke as a college student. But yeah, he really hooked it up. So during this particular drop, I decided to get a different angle and kind of slide a little bit further away from that, which was kind of unfortunate because since the water's so murky, seeing things at a distance is a little hard, especially on the camera compared to like your naked eye. but I'm pointing the camera towards Matt, but I'm looking over my right shoulder, and I seen the two omilus coming in, doing a wide circle around. So I was like, oh yeah, they seen me. Matt was in a nice hiding spot, tucked away behind that ledge, and sure enough, they just start coming in. Boom. Nails it. Perfect holding shot. I think that was, oh yeah, that's my gun. The white line. Shout out to Uncle Kurt at Maui Sporting Goods for just always sharing the mana'o about all the stuff that he's learned about spear guns and gear and equipment and stuff, and he only carries really good stuff. So it's actually where I got this gun from. I recently sold all of my guns and gave them away. Sold and gave away all my guns, but with the hopes of having a cap, because Matt's like, bro, caps are unreal. You gotta get one cap too. And I was like, okay, cool. He's like, the 120, it's perfect. I was like, okay. I still do have a couple like really, really small guns, which I do plan on using sometime soon, but I just can't afford a shaft. Like, I can't afford a shaft or bands right now. So I will use what I have until I don't have what I have. Got a nice holding shot right here. Nice omilu. I don't know. What you guys think? I think maybe like a 7-8 pounder. Yeah, like an 8-pound omilu, I think. A good sized fish. Super blue, super pretty. I didn't realize how common these guys are, but holy smokes, just like that, we made it to the end of the video. Okay, you guys, mahalo for watching. That just about sums up our first dive video log. Pretty happy with how that went. Me and Matt jumped in, swam around for 2 hours, worked the moo pile for a pretty big chunk of that time. We've seen all kinds of other fish too, some goats and big joes and whatnot. Matt shot a nice omilu, and I think I got it on video, so looking forward to reviewing that footage. But right now I'm just heading over to class. I gotta go volunteer with the food bank. Pass out some canned goods and whatnot for the people. See how that goes. But yeah, super glad that we went today and we decided to just press. Even though the time frame was so small, we were able to have some fun and get in the ocean and do some nice healthy activities. Always just so blessed that the freaking water was so flat, especially this time of year when the conditions are usually pretty hectic. It was like straight glassy out there, which was fantastic. But yeah, got to find a couple new spots as well too that I made some marks for. Hopefully I can take out some other folks to go check it out. Some fishy little like 10-15 foot kind of grounds that's pretty close to shore. Yeah, the water was super glassy. The swim was minor both ways. There's no current and there's plenty fish to look at least. And I guess going forward, I'm trying to bring my YouTube channel back. I don't know if people are really gonna enjoy these because I can kind of talk a lot, but yeah, going forward, I want to do like monthly videos, whether it's a dive video. I'm thinking of kind of turning away from the dive edits because those ones just like you have to catch so much fish to make a video, and that's not really how I dive. I don't really shoot many fish or dive super often, but I'm trying to be better about getting in the water kind of as much as I can in between school and working on my boat and whatever else life has to throw at me all the time. But yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, podcast. With that, it's just gonna be like talking story with either myself or some of my friends about, I'm assuming predominantly diving, because that's kind of where my passions fall. And they might not be the most entertaining to most people, which is totally fine. Like, I'm not trying to rack up as many views or whatever as I can, but
in an ideal world, I would love if there was like a couple people that tune in every month and participate in the comments or stuff, or just doesn't matter to me if everybody likes it, because I know like most people won't, but it would be awesome if just a couple people like truly enjoy it as much as me and some of my friends love to just nerd out on it and think about it and talk about it. And yeah, I'm gonna try to share some Ike too, but just nothing too crazy. Can't give away all the secrets, you know. Some things people have to learn on their own, but yeah, like spots, and especially like not gonna like expose any zones or anything like that, but maybe try to paint a roadmap on how you can get better on your own safely or something. I don't really know entirely yet what it's gonna look like, but yeah, definitely some talking action. I need to work on my communication skills, according to a handful of angry females from the past. But yeah, until next time, thank you guys for watching this first video log, and I hope you guys enjoyed. We hope.